Hi everybody, Viana here from MaplewoodRoad.com. Today we're going to be making this chunky scarf. Isn't it gorgeous? It is so comfy and so warm. It'll keep you warm all winter long and even on the coldest days, whether it's snowing outside, which it's supposed to snow today. So I think I'll be all ready with this scarf. For this scarf, I used a number 5 yarn, which is a bulky. So a regular worsted weight yarn is a 4. So this is just a little bit bulkier than that. It is a 5. You'll find that on the label. What I'm gonna look for on the label is this number 5, and it will say bulky. So with that bulky yarn, we're gonna want to use a big hook. So what I used for this is an N or a 10mm hook. It is quite a large hook, and I will show you that in just a moment. Because first of all, with 2 strands of a bulky yarn, you're gonna need something big to grab them both. And second of all, I wanted these stitches a little bigger to make it even chunkier. Because it is a bulkier yarn and we're doing 2 strands of it, I used an N hook, which is this one here. So you can see it is quite a large hook, but that's what we're gonna need for using 2 strands of a bulky yarn. And I used the V-stitch. If you're not familiar with the V-stitch, don't even worry about it. I'm gonna walk you through every step of the way. It's basically just a double crochet. That's all you need to know how to do. If you would like to review the double crochet, I'll put a link up here where you can review that stitch first and then come on right back and I will walk you through the V-stitch. So this is made as an infinity scarf. So it's worked in the round and it is wrapped twice around my neck, and it's so warm because we're going to use 2 strands of that bulky yarn to make this. And it's quite large in its width. Oh, you see? So you can really, if it's really, really cold out, you can really just pull it up over your nose and keep yourself super warm. Sorry if you couldn't hear me there. So you're gonna need 2 skeins of whatever color you choose to use, or colors. You could do 2 different colors, you could do 2 of the same, whatever you like, whatever floats your boat. And you're gonna use about 500 yards of that yarn. All right, so let's get started. Okay, so first I just want to show you the yarn that I used to make my scarf. It is the Premier Puzzle yarn, and it is the 5 bulky, as I mentioned, and it is in the color Crossword. Okay, but for today's purposes, I'm going to use a different yarn to show you, because in this variegated color, it would be very hard to show you the stitches with the color changing. So instead what I'm gonna do for teaching purposes is I'm going to use a white and a purple so that you can see the difference in the 2 colors. You can see how they're working together. So to start this out, like I said, we're gonna use 2 strands of yarn the entire time. So to start, we are just going to make a chain. I'm just doing a sample size here. So when you get to the end of your chain, it's going to be a lot bigger than this, but this is just for teaching purposes. You're going to join the 2 sides just with a slip stitch. By the way, make sure this is not twisted. Just take my word for it. I have done it several times. You don't want it to be twisted. Otherwise it'll cause you trouble later on, and I'll show you. So normally we have the front loop and the back loop, and we work into one or both of those. When you're working like this, you would probably just work into that top loop and start going around. But on the back, if you flip it over, there's this little crossbar. You see it? There, there, there. We're going to be working into that. Okay? So again, there's what you're normally looking at. It's normally on the top of your work. But when you're starting a chain, it looks like this. And you would normally work into this loop. Or even, you could work into both. But for this, we're going to work into this back bump back here. I think that's the terminology for it. If I'm wrong, please let me know in the comments. And that is the reason you don't want your chains to be too tight, or this will be real tight, and you're gonna have a heck of a time getting your hook into that space there. And the reason that I do this is because it gives a fuller edge on the edge of your work by doing this. You don't have to do this. It's not required. If you're having too much trouble, you could always just work into this loop here. But it just gives it a nicer, fuller edge. So what we're going to do is we're going to first chain 2 to start, and then we're going to half double crochet all the way around. Remember, a chain 2 is a turning chain for half double crochet. So you're going to yarn over, go under both of those strands of that back bump, yarn over, pull through. Now instead of 3, we have 6 on our hook because we're using 2 strands. Yarn over, pull through everything. Again, yarn over, looking for that bar on the back. Well, actually there's 2 bars because we're doing 2 strands. That's that back bump. Remember, here's the normal front side. That's on the back side. Go through both of those. Yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, pull through everything. And we're going to do that all the way around. Okay, once you've worked all the way around, and by the way, when you're working in that back bump, if some of them are a little tight and you find you can only get through 1 strand now and then, don't drive yourself crazy. Just go through 1. Nobody's ever going to see that. Just being real honest here. Okay, now that you've come all the way around, we're not going to slip stitch. Instead, we're going to work right into this first one, and we're going to make a double crochet. If I can get in there. Oops. And another double crochet in the same stitch. Then you're going to skip the next one. Then in the next one, or skip 1, then in the next one, 2 double crochets in the same. Skip 1, then the next one, 2 double crochet. And you're gonna do that all the way around. Okay, once you've come all the way around, again, we're not gonna slip stitch, but we're gonna see when we did those 2 double crochets, which is basically like an increase, but then we skip 1 in between. But anyway, each of those double crochets, it makes kind of like a V shape. You see that? Where there's the next one. You see that V? We're gonna go into that space in the center of that V. So here's the first one. Here my finger's poking through. That's the first V. We're gonna go into this space here. And we're gonna do 2 double crochets. So in the center of that V, 1, and then a second double crochet. And we're gonna find the next V. You see how we got in the middle of that one? And go to the next one. There's the next V. You're gonna go in here. 2 double crochets. And you're gonna do it again. And you're gonna keep doing this all the way around. So before we finish up, I just wanna go over one more thing, and that is, remember when I was saying don't twist it? Because when I did my first row of V's, I finished up that row and somehow it was twisted in some way. I said it was like I think it's MC Escher, but then Eric said it's not. I don't know. It was like this continuous loop that had no beginning and no end, and I was on the wrong side, and I don't know how it happened. But luckily with crochet, you can just frog it and start all over. So that's what I did. I'm sure we've all been there. Am I right? So anyway, this is the scarf. As you can see, it's quite long. It folds over twice. And these are the V's that you can see from the V stitch. And then the next one goes into that. It is super warm. It has a great texture. It's just beautiful. So if you like this, I hope that you subscribe to our channel. There should be a button over here somewhere. And if you would like the free full pattern, please visit our website at maplewoodroad.com. I will leave a link below that links directly to the free pattern for this. And as always, if you have any questions, please just post them in the comment section below. I'm more than happy to help with any questions or comments you have. And when you're finished, visit our Facebook page. I would love to see you post pictures of your finished scarves. I'm so excited to see them. And yeah, visit us again, you know, and while you're crocheting, check out our recipes too. You know, we got lots of tasty recipes on our site as well. All right, so this is my chunky scarf. I hope you enjoy it. Happy crocheting.